So let's talk about the MCP servers that I have configured with this client. And those are remote MCP servers which are running somewhere else. And I have a JSON file that is storing all the connection details of those servers. So when I start this MCP CLI, it loads this JSON and then understand the connections and then tries to make the connection with the server. And then makes keeps the connection alive using bridge. So let's see what are the connection. I also have a GitHub pad token, but I'm going to delete it after this video. So I have right now added few MCP servers. First one is a file system MCP server. So this file system MCP server, I have currently configured it using stdio. So what it does is I have this command and the arguments that is needed to make the connection with the server. And this file system MCP server, what it does, it allows you to run all the like operating system commands uh, using your CLI client. So it provides tools to uh, read file, read the folder, or all sorts of file operation you can do using this file system MCP server. It's very useful for developers. Let me connect with this server and we'll see like what are the tools present on this. Then second, I have a very famous MCP server which is GitHub MCP server. So to configure it again, I have the npx command and the arguments that it need is the these two arguments. Along with that, this GitHub MCP server also has authentication in it, and it needs a your GitHub pat token. So you can add the pat token in the environment variable. I also have one more famous MCP server called sequential thinking. So if this MCP server, what it does, if you have any complex problem, it will break down that into sequential steps and will help your AI agent to solve that problem sequentially. So basically, it does the planning for the for your AI agents. If you don't have a strong model that has planning inbuilt or thinking inbuilt, then you can use this MCP server which can break the complex task. LM can use this MCP server to break down the complex task and create a sequential step of resolution to solve that problem. And then we have the some other MCP servers like MCP image gen. So this MCP server, what it does, it allows you to create images using CPU. This MCP server has certain module inside this which optimizes the uh, compute for your CPU. You don't need GPU to generate image. You can run basically you can run certain models locally using this MCP server, and it will allow you to create images locally. I'll also run this MCP server and show how we can create an image. So let's start our client and start connecting with this MCP server. So to start our client, we need to start the bridge. And to start the bridge, what we need to do is basically we just need to run this command. I'll show you. So we just need to run this MCP CLI should bridge. So this will start a persistent connection, basically a persistent session with all the remote or MCP servers or local MCP server that have added in this MCP servers JSON file. So if I run this, let's see. So it has started it. Now let's see. Now let's make start making connection with this MCP server. For your reference, I have created a file to of commands to quickly copy paste and do the operation. Let me just take that command file. So we have the command file here, MCP commands MD. Let me open side by side the servers JSON as well. So we have okay, yeah. So we have these two. Let's take this side. So I have to start the bridge. I have already run this command and now the bridge has started. Let's connect with first MCP server. So to connect with MCP server, I need to type the executable name, and then I need to use connect command. And before even that, let's try this help command to see what are the possible commands present on this CLI package. So if I see the main commands which are present are connect to connect with the MCP server. So when you build a CLI client, you can tie all these commands with your commander.js file, which is mainly the index.ts, and you also can give description basically for ease of your users, so they can understand what each of the command does. They can just do help command and understand the purpose of each of the commands that is possible on the CLI. So connect, what it does, it connects with the MCP server, closes the session, restart the session. Yeah, all sorts of commands are listed here. So first I'll run the connect command. So let's run this MCP CLI suit connect, and then I need to give the server of location, which is present, the server object location which is in MCP server JSON, and also I need to give a session name as well. So what I'll do, I'll just give MCP, I'm giving the server's config location, server JSON. This is for initial connect only, and after that it will make a persistent connection. So this is the MCP servers JSON, and then you can give the MCP or MCP server name which I want to connect with. So I want to connect with file system, and let's give it a name. So I'll give it FL system. This will be my session name. So this is the, I need to make one-time connection, and after that for any query I'll just use this session name to do the operation on the file system MCP. So if I start this, so you can see a session has been created. Let's expand this. So when I did this connect command, it connected with the MCP server, which is file system MCP, and then it is started, it shown me all the tools which are present on this MCP server. So the tools which are present are read file, read text file, read media file. So all sorts of operation you can perform on your system, operating system, file system, that can be done using 14 tools which are present on this MCP server. Let's run one of the tools. Let's run this read file and let's see what it does. Okay, so if I do MCP CLI tool, I'll just give the session name at FL system, and I'll give this read file. This read file needs two arguments. One is path and then tail. So let's just give the path argument. So take this path, and please note that I'm showing this thing from the CLI, right? But you can ask like, hey, why we do we need to type all the commands? What's the significance of this in actual AI agent system, right? So this I'm showing you just so that you can debug the MCP servers using the CLI. But when you build an agent will have access to all these tools and their description and all their schema. So agent will, LLM will use this tool description, schema, and tool names to choose these tools on the fly, and there will be no command involved. You just type a natural language on the agent chatbot, and that natural language will go to LLM, plus LLM will have access to all the schema and description of these tools. Using those two correlations, LLM will do the tool discovery. Tool discovery is something which is finding the right tool from a set of tools which you provide to LLMs using the MCP servers or client, and it chooses the tools on the fly. But if you want to debug the MCP servers, you can use this CLI, to check how the commands goes exactly to the server, how the JSON response of the server looks like, right? So you can imagine that all this client will be in actual AI agent system. It will be used by LLMs, but here I am showing you how you can debug the MCP server, and you can have transparency of what is happening on the servers in real time, when how you can construct the commands which can execute on the server. So I have this tool called read file, and this read file tool I need to pass an option called path. So the path I'll take, let's take this file itself, let's take this file, let's take this server's file itself, copy path. So if I run this, let's see. So it says, okay, oh, got it. There's a mistake. You need to give a tool name, right? I mean, you need to give a method name, not the tool name. Tool name you are already given, but you need to give a method name, because if you see the command references, you need to give. So how the command reference, first your CLI executable name, then your session name, and then the tool name, and then the method name, and then the arguments, right? So if I need to call a read file, then I need to give tools call, which is the method name, because there are different methods on the MCP server. So one is the tools call, then list tools, and then list resources. So also you need to give one of the method name, and then you need to give the tool name. So tool name is read file, right? And then you need to give the argument. So argument is this one. Now let's see. Okay, so it says invalid file format, uh, JSON. So okay, I think I need to give quote to start this. So let's see. Not the quote. Actually, it should not go like this. It should go like colon equal, because colon equals. I was missing the equal to sign here. This is just for testing, but when you build a agent, you don't have to give all the commands when you integrate this with the actual AI agent. AI agent will figure out the tools and schema and how to call them automatically. So I have given this path. Now let's see, it should work now. Yeah. So now it has executed the tool on this file system MCP server, and it has shown me all the content of the file. You can see here. So you can tell like how useful it will be when you build a AI agent for your local operating system, right? You can just ask the AI agent, hey, read all the files, or let's say organize all the files, or uh, read a image, or also you don't need to give location or any content. Don't need to copy the file content every time into your AI agent. You can just tell that read it from this location, and it will basically use this MCP server to do all sorts of file reading, writing, directory listing, and everything. So yeah, I think let's execute one more tool here. The second tool is you can also do create operations. So if you want to create operation, that also you can do. If I want to create operation, let's see how it works. So if I want to create operation, I can go to in this. I can simply, what I can do is I can change the tool name here. So let's change the tool name. Tool name is create directory, and I want to create a directory, so I just need to give the location of that directory. So the location of that directory is, let's see, so create directory takes argument called path, so I need to give the path. Let's take the path, it's a string, so I give a path, and this path can be, let's say I want to create a directory here itself, so I'll take the path, paste it, and from this let's just remove it. So I'll create the directory in this folder itself, and that directory name should be let's see what are the arguments. So to create a directory takes a path, so directory name can be test directory creation tool. So let's run this. So it created, now you can see the directory has been created. It created this test directory creation tool. So right now I created using the typing the command, but when you integrate with AI agent will use this tool directly to create that create the directory using this create directory tool. Similarly, you can do all sorts of operations. There are 14 tools here, and it can be really good asset for the LLMs to use these tools and do the things on the fly. You don't have to do anything manually. So this was file system MCP, and I think it is one of the key MCP servers that every developer should have that in their system, because we work with the file system, and if you have a AI agent, you can simply integrate this MCP server with the AI agent, and it will do all sorts of file operation.